Happy high-rise day. This is Tim with Perkins Roofing. I'm on a high-rise right now on Miami Beach that we're re-roofing. You can see the beach behind me. There's the literal beach. So I'm on this high-rise in Miami Beach. This is a really small, tight little job, but it's tough to work in little environments like this. So you can see actually behind me, this is the same exact metal tile that we had to do in Fort Lauderdale, in the Fort Lauderdale metal restoration video. So if you've seen that video, you see what happens to the metal. The Kynar paint flakes off. It almost looks like hail damage or freckles or algae. But what's happening is this is just flakes of the Kynar paint. And we're trying to convince them that they should do the same thing here before all, you can see these screws are all really rusted out. But we're trying to convince them to do the same thing on the metal roof that we did over at Alhambra. But what we're really doing here right now is the flat roof. So you can see behind me, it's a very tight area. And we have this tower in the middle of the flat roof. And we have wall flashes on both sides. We've already built this up with new tapered insulation in the base layer. You can see the base layer down behind me. Paying for the torches right here. There's all the new AC equipment. These are the AC guys doing all the HVAC stuff behind me up here on the roof. And then you can see the base layer down here. Polyglass paper. This is going to be a Polyfresko roof, just like our other roofs, just like our one, the other one we're going to go to today. Since it's high-rise day, we're going to this job and we're going to the one in Brickell. So Miami Beach high-rise and then Brickell high-rise. You can see we're like 20 stories up or whatever. So here's the intercoastal on this side. We've got behind us over here, the bay. And then that's actually one of my clients there, that like rounded building, Care Beach side. But you can see it's really tight here. We just don't have a ton of room to work. And we've got all this base layer down in the insulation. And what the guys are doing now is they're chipping out the wall to take out this counter flashing metal so we can get the new counter flashing metal in. The AC is leaking. But here's the new paper right here, and I'll show you up close what it looks like when we're putting it in. That X, this hole right here, is for a drain. So that's not an accident, that's there for a reason. So that's for the drain. And then we have this other little tower roof up here, so I'm gonna go up there and check that out. This is what you have to do to expose the wall for the wall flashing. So up here, you can see there's like an entranceway here to get through into where the HVAC stuff is. So this is the metal tile roof right here, but you can see some of this stuff is all rusting out. This is all built on like these I-beams. Even these I-beams are getting exposed. Really, they should structurally repair these. And then we've got the big AC in here. You can see all the water in there. Due to this, you see we're still tearing this off. This is the deck. So we haven't added tapered insulation yet, which is why we have all that water. But here's the roof that we've already torn off and done the insulation in the base layer on down there. And then here you see the concrete. So this is down to the concrete. We'll have to clean this up a little bit more. You see this was an old hot mop roof. So we'll have to clean this up a little bit more before we put our layer down. And this is gonna be fun to flash under this. So we'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna wrap up the wall, terminate up here, and then finish this with a polyurethane coating on the top. They don't want to see the metal on the side. Like, they're not doing a coping cap here or drip metal because they want us to finish this with a liquid flashing. Like this right here is silicone. Really, you don't want silicone, but we're gonna finish it with a polyurethane. So that's what you're gonna get on top of the wall here. So you see how this area here is open? Instead of leaving this open because it's such a pain to flash this, we're gonna box this in here. So this is gonna come straight down to here. And then we're gonna wrap the paper all the way up and up here to avoid that. And up here where the AC is, this is a vapor barrier. You can see the water there. We haven't done our insulation yet on this side, so the insulation's gonna go on top right there of this vapor barrier. So this is gonna all be boxed in from here, and up, and then sealed in there. And then this side is gonna be finished in there and liquid flashed, where this metal roof deck is here. The asphalt bleeding out once he heats it in the inside, and he's got to use the bowl trowel to smooth it out. And every time that you're putting paper down with polyglass, you have to cut 45-degree angles on the joints of the laps. It's a hot day today too. It's like 100 degrees outside, and then he's got this open flame up here. It's toasty in here. This is how you do a wall flashing with the polyglass system. And imagine you've got to do this for every single one of these little pieces. You can see these pieces are 3-foot cuts, basically, so you've got to do this for every single one. See, he's rolling out the asphalt. It's just a lot to do these wall flashings. This takes a lot of time. This is just the first layer. You have to do this for multiple layers. So you can see when it cures. Here it is. So you get a nice bleed out here, and you don't want it to be sloppy. You try to get a nice little line. Obviously, you're dealing with a really hot material when you're heating it up and rolling it out. So it's not going to be perfect, but you know that's sealed. That's not leaking. So that's why you can't beat asphalt roofs. Asphalt is just so much better than rubber. Look at that. This is just the base layer. Like I said, you're getting 3 layers of this hot applied asphalt paper. why we picked this little alleyway in the building to put it down. Block some of the wind. So here's the bottom side of the hoist. We have the landing platform here. Gonna load the rolls up into the hoist. Start bringing those rolls up. You can see we have like, it's like a bag almost, like a giant sack, like Santa Claus delivering gifts up there. Instead of using the box like we did on Fisher Island to bring everything up and down, we're using this giant kind of like sack, because a box, we don't want it to go bung, 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 bung all the way up hitting the walls. The sack is safer for the protection of the walls while it's kind of going up the chute here. Like if you can imagine like a box, dung, 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 like pinballing up, that's why we're using, you see this? It's this giant like super strong canvas. Alright, you can check out this stucco finish here. We just have to do a little bit of painting. We're not going to be painting though until we finish the roof in this area. So got to finish the roof so that we can paint all of this. Right here is a good view where you can see how much insulation is stacked up on top of this structural concrete deck. This area had to be cut out so we could close up the old scupper. You see, this is where the old scupper was. It was buried. And then now we have a smooth concrete finish here. And then the new scupper is going to slide right in. So basically it's a piece of metal. It's going to slide right into this concrete opening that we have cut out here. And you see how smooth this is right here? This is where the old hole was. And this is all filled in. You can see right here, there's what the scupper actually looks like, the piece of metal. It's stainless steel. And it's gonna slide right in, and then we're gonna flash it in with the roofing paper. And what he was doing on this side is grinding down the finish to make it smooth on the outside of that scupper hole. So this is the work that has to go in on these scuppers, and being this high up, it's a lot more difficult. If you're 1 story or 2 stories, you just work on the outside off of a ladder rather than this. So over here, you can see what it looks like when the scupper metal is actually inserted into the scupper hole. This still has to be refinished around it with the roofing. But you can see this is what it looks like when it's open, when the metal is slid into the actual scupper hole. And I'll show you what it looks like on the outside here. I'm gonna hold on to my phone so I don't drop it. But you can see the scupper coming out of the wall and the stucco finish around the scupper. I'll fly the drone too so you can see what it looks like from the outside on all of these. So we'll fly the drone around and that'll give you a good view of these scupper drains when they're finished. And that's, like I said, stainless steel, so non-corrosive. Being ocean front like this, you need to do stainless steel or copper. You can do aluminum too, but stainless steel and copper are going to be a better finish long term. So I just showed you this one that's ready to be flashed in with the roofing now. This is what it looks like once it's flashed in. You can see the new roofing paper targeting into the scupper. You can see the scupper hole here. The paper goes all into the scupper metal. And these are overflow. So you see how there's a lip here? This is meant to be overflow. This is not a field scupper. Field scuppers, you want to be level with the roof. But these are overflow, so you want them to be a little bit higher. You want them to be 2 inches minimum above the actual field drain, which is down that way. And then here's the outside. Again. Completed. These boxes here were custom built to hang over the parapet wall. And you can see there's a basket to catch the debris from when the cutting is done so that no stucco or any debris falls on the other side of the wall. So you can see we have these baskets all down here. And the baskets just hang on the wall where the scupper location is to catch anything, so we don't have falling stuff. So here you can see our new fans and curbs. You can see the new posts that are non-deteriorated to hold up these pipes. So new equipment throughout the roof from Perkins Construction. Now here we are, part 2 of high-rise day. We're here at our other high-rise building in Brickell. You can see behind me, Brickell Key, and we have our great white Polyfresko roof being done at phase 1 on the project now. So you can actually almost see like the differences between the base layers and the finish layer. And you can see here our stainless steel stucco stop is going on the wall flashings. The Polyfresko is all done in the field. And right here we have our Polyflash 1C details. I'm gonna give you a closer look at that without my face in the way in a second. But you can see what these details look like behind me now. And you're kind of seeing on the first roof today, the one in Miami Beach, you're seeing like beginning phases, like post demo. It's basically like phase 2, kind of like post base layer. And here you're seeing like final phase detail work on the Polyfresko roof over here on phase 1 of this Brickell project that we're doing. So here, this is polyurethane. You can see the blue tape was taken off. We used blue tape to box these in so they look pretty. But basically the flashings, the detail flashings on this project, it's not pitch pans or chem curbs like they used to be, but this is Polyflash 1C, which is a polyurethane product. And you can see there's actually like fabric wrapped in here. So we have membrane wrapped in and our termination right here. You can see it's a nice white square, blends in with our nice white roof so that we don't have bull or chem curbs or pitch pans that can leak. Polyurethane is like very solid, moisture curing product. And then right here you can see we have our stucco stop or counter flashing. It gets called both. This is stainless steel right here. We got stainless steel screws to rivet this in here. And then you can see these need to still be nailed in on that end. But here's our stainless steel stucco stop kind of just pinned in right now on the wall. You can see our details here on all these boots. We still have some other details to do, like these new pipes that are being installed. They've just got little pads below them for now. Here's our drains. This still needs a target flashing, the drain right here. And these are what the walls look like when we don't have the stucco stop on yet. So you can see here's the bare concrete block that's been cut back for the wall flashing. And our nice torch line, like we just saw on our other project, what we were doing with the base layer, the torch line. It's the same thing here, except with this white cap sheet. So these white layers are going down And you can see the stucco stop / counter flashing over on that side too of phase 1. And so we're just doing details here on phase 1. I'll get you a better look up top. I'm gonna jump up there. Here I am now up top. I'm the king of the world. That's what my kid always says. I'm the king of the world. I'm the king of the world up here. But you can see I'm standing in water right now. But you can see the nice bright roof below me, all finished on phase 1. I'll show you on the drone too. You can see phase 3. The old roof is still a train wreck, crappy gravel roof over there. But most of the phase 1 here is done, except for these detail flashings. So we've just got to finish up these detail flashings. And then up here, obviously, we've got to do our final layer, like what you saw on the other roof where we were doing that wall flashing. Basically, we have to do that final flashing layer that's going to come back from the top down to this side. What we're waiting is we've got to bring this scupper down first so that we can flash all of this in. So this is what we're looking at phase 1. Let's go over to the other phases of the building and check out what's going on over there. On the construction side of phase 1, you can see that we refinished some of these caps here on the walls. We've resealed some of these railing pockets, waterproofed these eyebrow roofs because there's balconies for individual units down below each of these. So we're over on phase 3 right now, and you can see that we've got the shoring posts now all installed underneath these platforms per the engineering specs. So all these little shoring posts are helping to jack up these stands. And you can see that the team has opened up. We're not here today working, but we opened up all this concrete because all this was enclosed and just crumbling apart to expose the rebar. So we can treat the rebar and reinforce it as needed, which reinforcing rebar is like, what is the word for that? Reinforcing bar, but that's what you're doing. But you can see all this rebar under these things. We had to expose. You see the platform there. Because these cooling towers are massive things. They weigh a ton. They were going to do the cooling towers the same time we were working here on reinforcing these platforms, but then they opted that they're going to wait till next year now to do the cooling towers. So we're just doing the stands and doing the concrete for now. But you can see we had to open all this stuff up, and we've got to redo all this concrete, these concrete repairs at all these columns, just to make sure that these platforms are good to go. Because you can see it's a lot of weight. There's a lot of shoring posts here to hold all this up for this concrete restoration work on these platforms for the cooling towers in phase 3. So now we go from phase 1 over there where we've got a bright new pretty white roof to phase 3, which is old roof still, old crappy gravel roof, to phase 2, which is like mid progress. So this gray cap sheet that I'm on right now, we haven't put any insulation down. This is just vapor barrier. So basically this is torched straight to the concrete deck as a waterproofing. You can see all this water that's up here from the rain and from the cooling towers. It's just all the moisture here. So this is our vapor barrier that we're putting down below the insulation to make sure that we don't have any water come through while we're here working. So this is being torched straight to the concrete deck. Insulation goes on top of the vapor barrier, and then new roofing system goes on top of the insulation. So vapor barrier first on concrete. So concrete deck, vapor barrier, insulation, and it's tapered insulation. So that tapered insulation versus regular insulation means that we're getting a slope out of the insulation. It's not just regular insulation boards that are just flat and provide R value. These boards provide R value and they also provide slope. So we have our insulation boards are going to go down on top of this vapor barrier. You can see this area is primed. So we cleaned all that up, chipped all this out, reprimed that deck, and then we're torching this to the asphalt primer. So this primer here is going to help this vapor barrier adhere better to the concrete. So this area here has been demoed out and primed and ready for vapor barrier cap sheet as the guys are taking lunch right now. So that's what's going on here. And then you can see transition into old roof. And the old roof is all the same level. As we discussed in one of the other videos for this roof is all just regular flat ISO with a gravel roof on top of it. So that's coming out. and then this is going to be high, just like the other roofs. It's really going to come up to a very good height because the drains are all at the center, which means the high pitch is going to be at the walls, and then it's going to slope down into the center of the roof, which is a little counterintuitive. Like if I was designing the building, I would like to design the watershed away from the center, not bring it into the center, because then you're less likely to have plumbing issues. So any architects out there, building designers for these high rises, like take that into consideration. You may want to move the water to the outside, not bring it back into the inside. I know nobody likes having water run off the roof and then you're walking below and you get a nice little shower curtain or whatever, but I guarantee you, you're going to have less building maintenance problems in the future if you try to move all the water to the outside and divert everything down the building through like external gutters or downspouts or whatever. There's downtown Miami behind me. Nice view of downtown as we look around here. And I'm gonna fly the drone and get you some drone shots while we're working here. You can see we don't have the hydraulic hoist we're operating right now, and so all this is gonna be bagged up here, and we'll move that down at the end of the day. Right now is just lunchtime. So end of the day, we're gonna get all that down via the hydraulic lifts. Hopefully you enjoyed this video of High Rise Day. Basically, this is a combo video of part 3 of this Brickell Key job, and it's also we're doing the other high rise at the same time on Miami Beach. So we got our combo video here, part 3 / High Rise Day, whatever I'm gonna title it. But hopefully you enjoyed it, you learned something new. If you have any roofing needs or general contracting needs, concrete restoration, impact windows, painting, or any type of roof, give us a call in Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys at 305 MIA Roof. 4 up north, Palm Beach County, Martin, and St. Lucie County, give us a call at 561-559-ROOF for all those various trades. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, next video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully this was a good video for you. And peace out, everybody. Perkins Roofing, Perkins Construction, best roofers in all of Florida. And if you want a Perkins Roofing franchise, your own franchise, you can reach out to me too for your own Perkins Roofing franchise. If you are interested in construction and want to run your own roofing business, I'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll be involved in, basically it's Roofing University with Perkins Roofing franchise group, and we'll get you all franchised up and set you on your merry way to go make some money in the construction industry. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those good social media things to Perkins Roofing, so you can follow us along with all the projects that we're doing. And if you're interested in learning about roofing or construction, or if you're interested in a construction roofing franchise.